Hello my friends and welcome to ACCA SBR. Today I'm going to give you a little introduction as to what the paper is all about. Now SBR stands for Strategic Business Reporting, and I want to start by talking a little bit about the syllabus. Now the syllabus itself is largely made up of financial reporting, what you learnt at financial reporting, but now we're going to be a little bit more advisory and less of a technician. And whereas with financial reporting, you used to have to calculate lots of numbers, do some objective testing questions, which were quite a lot of application. Here what we're going to be doing is being a more senior individual than you were before. And imagine yourself being in the office and somebody coming to you and saying, I've got this particular transaction and I don't know how to deal with it. And you've got to try and think of all of your knowledge with the IFRSs to come up with a solution to how something should be accounted for. Now, obviously, there are some other aspects of the paper as well, which I'm going to talk about in a little while, but I want you to try and remember that you're now much more advisory. And on top of that, we're going to get you to think a little bit more about ethics and thinking about it from the stakeholders' perspective and how things should be recorded. So the syllabus is actually quite large, having said that. And it does include, on top of your financial reporting, some other additional accounting standards too. What we're also going to get you to think about is some current issues, things that might be being discussed at the moment in the accountancy world, and sometimes your examiner might ask you your opinion on that. So in a moment, I'm going to run through the objectives of the syllabus in a little bit more detail and tell you about that. Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the paper itself. There are no objective testing questions in this syllabus. Instead, you've got 4 compulsory questions, so you have to answer all of them. They're broken down into 2 sections of the paper, A and B, and the questions are worth between 20 and 30 marks each. So no choice whatsoever, or what we call constructive response. And you're going to answer these questions on a combination of word and spreadsheet answers. So I'm going to explain a little bit about that in a while too. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you about the course, and we're going to see how the course is run and how we're going to approach the paper itself. And then I'm going to tell you about some really useful resources that you may have come across if you studied ACCA before, but you might not have done if this is your first paper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to have a look at the syllabus itself. And in fact, I'm going to go back to this page here. Here we go. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the objectives of the paper. So in this particular syllabus, what we're trying to remember is that we've got to apply some fundamental ethical and professional principles to certain dilemmas. So imagine that you are a stakeholder, you're looking at a set of financial statements. As a preparer of financial statements, you need to think about what they're interested in and make sure that your information you provide is objective and it shows integrity. And it's really important that you think about that when you're considering how to account for transactions. You've also got to think about how you can evaluate the appropriateness of the financial reporting framework and really discuss changes in accounting regulation. So think about what the principles are in the conceptual framework and then consider why particular transactions are accounted for in a certain way. You're going to use your judgement to consider the appropriate accounting treatment. And you're also going to be able to prepare some financial statements for groups of entities. Now, in particular, this is going to come into question 1, and I'm going to mention this in a moment for you. You did this in FR, you're going to be doing this again, but we do need to think about how you interpret financial information for different users of financial statements and get them to think about what the numbers are actually saying. Notice here it's not just for shareholders, it can be for providers of finance, it can be for employees, it could be for shareholders. What you've also got to think about are the impact on changes in accounting regulation. So this is where the current issues come in, where the examiner might ask you your opinion on something. And the employability and technology skills are all to do with using IT. Can you use a spreadsheet to produce numbers, and can you manipulate numbers? I don't mean that in a bad way, but can you use a spreadsheet to be able to make some more meaningful numbers? And can you also express yourself on a Word document? Can you communicate in writing? Now, the syllabus itself is actually quite large in terms of what's in there. And I'm not going to go through the details of the syllabus, but I do want to think about the objectives and what the paper's about, because this is really quite important. We're trying to make sure that when you sit this paper, that you demonstrate some professionalism. And included in some of the questions, you will be awarded marks for how you express yourself, for showing skepticism, and for writing in a professional way. You've also got to think about the stakeholders we mentioned before. So when you're considering things, you're looking at a vast group of people. You're not just thinking about shareholders. We need you to be quite technical and be able to demonstrate how we record and process transactions. And on top of that, we also need you to be able to prepare financial reports and to analyse, as said here, and interpret financial information. Now, let's have a little chat about the exam itself. Now, you know with the exam that they're usually a 3-hour paper. Well, here you have a 3-hour and 15-minute exam. The idea with the extra 15 minutes is to give you an opportunity to be able to read through the paper and to make sure that you familiarise yourself with it. Now, as we said, it's made up of 2 sections. We have section A and we have section B. Both are worth 50 marks each. Section A has got 2 scenario-based questions. One is worth 30 marks and the second one is worth about 20. Now, the first one is going to be a group financial statement question, where you will be given the financial statements, often an extract of, on a pre-populated spreadsheet. And what you've got to do is to consider some financial reporting issues. Now, this pre-populated spreadsheet will often be wrong, and what you've got to do is to correct the spreadsheet to produce the correct numbers. Now, it's not going to be a full set of financial statements, but you will have to present some numbers in the exam and correct those, so about 10 to 14 marks. On top of that, you will then be asked questions that demonstrate your understanding of what you're doing. So you're explaining to somebody how something should be accounted for. Where there's a choice of how something can be accounted for, you're trying to demonstrate that you understand why that is. The second question is one where you will have a series of reporting issues. So maybe the client has said to you, or one of your work colleagues, they don't really know how to account for something, or they've told you to account for something in the incorrect way that goes against IFRS. And you've got to explain how something should be accounted for and then discuss the ethical implications of what you've just done. Usually that question has some professional marks which you can get by demonstrating how clearly you communicate and also make sure that you can apply your knowledge to the scenario. There's usually a little guidance in the question itself as to what those are for. Section B has got 2 questions, often of equal length, and generally those are going to be questions that can deal with any aspect of the syllabus, but will usually include either a full or part of a question which tests analysis. Can you interpret financial information? And the other style of question that you tend to get here are ones where they'll ask you, or they'll talk to you about a series of transactions and ask for your recommendations on how something should be accounted for. The mark allocation within the question will be really clear, and it's not like you get a whole question for 25 marks and you've just got to do a series of requirements. They break it down into little bits and you'll be asked to do specific requirements for a certain number of marks. Notice again, there's often some professional marks, but there will be some guidance given to you about what those are for. Now, we've talked about the paper, we've talked about the syllabus. What we're now going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the course. Now, the course itself is going to be made up of 2 sections. We've got the learning phase and we're going to have the practice phase. In the learning phase, we're going to work through the textbook that you have, and we're going to be covering lots of the technical issues. We're going to make sure that at the end of the learning phase, you understand the syllabus. The practice phase is going to give us an opportunity to apply that knowledge to exam-style questions. And we're going to be using spreadsheets and Word documents to be able to demonstrate how those are going to be used in the exam. So we're really going to be going through the syllabus almost twice. Now, the resources you have available are obviously, you've got your study text, and your study text is there with all the information in the syllabus. If it's in the study text, it's in the syllabus. We also have some exam questions, and those will be provided to you. But in addition to that, you've also got some wonderful ACCA resources. And it's worth checking out www.acccaglobal.com for a series of resources. I'm just going to write this down here for you, www.acccaglobal.com. If you haven't been there already, please do. There's some really useful examiner's comments, so you get a feel for what the examiner says students do well and not. There are some technical articles which are really useful for when they're talking about these current issues that we mentioned up here. And you've also got a link to the platform. This is the exam platform with the past exam questions in there that you can practice on the spreadsheets and the Word documents. On top of that, there's also a hub. Now, this little hub, it's got lots and lots of resources for you. It's called an education hub. It gets lots of resources for you with some specific notes and tests and quizzes to help you understand the syllabus. It does not replace the study text, and it's not designed to replace any learning that you may do. It's there to supplement. But you will find that quite useful just to have a little work through as well. So I'm going to leave you to have a little mull over that, my friends, and I look forward to starting the course again with you soon. Bye for now.